they always want that first they should have some level of perfection, and then
Absolutely.
they should start their journey.
We'll somehow give them something that will increase their confidence.
Mhm.
Just like that. Hi, good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Hello, good evening. I'm doing fantastic. Tell me about yourself. How is your evening shaping up so far?
Oh my God, it's going so good so far. My day did not start with a good note, but I can say that as it proceeded, it went on well. So I'm doing good. Okay.
Nice to hear. Nice to hear that you are doing well. And now I'm looking forward to hearing from you a lot, because this is, I feel, that the first time
We are
I'm
meeting.
connecting with a trainer from Ace Fluency.
Okay, that's great. I thought it's the first time that we are meeting, but it's the first time that you're meeting with a trainer from Ace Fluency. That's a big responsibility on
Right.
my shoulders then.
Right.
Okay, so we're also meeting for the first time. Shall we start by introducing ourselves first, if that's all right with you?
Uh, as you say, so please introduce yourself first,
Okay,
because
I'll
yes.
start with me. Okay, so my name is Smriti. I've been born and brought up in Himachal Pradesh, and I'm currently putting up there as well.
Mhm.
Professionally speaking, I'm pursuing a PhD, and I have been a spoken English coach for almost 3 years.
Mhm.
I love reading, I love exploring new things, new places, and yeah, I like talking to people that I meet on the platform as well, because that actually gives me an opportunity to get to know about a lot of different things without a lot of different places without having to actually go and visit the place. So that's good. And that's pretty much it about me as well. How about you, ma'am?
Yes, so in short, let me also introduce myself. I go by Manju Mishra,
Hmm.
and by profession, I am a teacher. I
Hmm.
taught for 32 years in
Oh my God.
two different regular institutions,
Hmm.
but now I'm retired.
Hmm.
And in my retirement, I keep myself busy by running my own YouTube channel with my name, that
Hmm.
is Grammar with Manju Ma'am.
Hmm.
And apart from this, I train some A1, A2, B1, B2 level students for
Hmm.
spoken English. That's
Hmm.
how I spend my time in a productive way. If you
That's
talk
amazing.
about my hobbies, so yeah, like you, I also love to connect with people, no matter
Okay.
which field they belong to, but still
Hmm.
I love to connect with them
Hmm.
because it kills my time very well.
That's
Yes.
amazing. If you don't mind me asking, did you retire like by your own choice, or was it age? Because you look quite young to be retired, honestly.
No, no. Actually, I was in a public school. It was a
Mm-hmm.
convent school. There
Hmm.
was the culture that after 58, the teacher has to take retirement.
Hmm.
So yes,
Okay.
I am above that.
Oh my God, you don't look like that, honestly. Okay, that's amazing.
Okay,
You
thank you.
taught for 32 years. That's amazing. I mean, you've taught for such a long time. I'm sure you must have seen a huge difference in the kind of students that had come to you. I mean, in the beginning of your career versus towards the end of your career. Can you tell me what are the difference that you've observed in the students specifically in these two times?
Right, right. A very lovely question, actually. If I talk about my experience when I started teaching,
Mm.
even being teacher, I was a timid teacher, I must say.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, that kind of no atmosphere was given to us from our parents, from our teachers, because they always used to tell us, okay, be polite, be
Mm.
humble.
Mm.
And even parents used to tell us, being a girl child, you should
Mm.
be very soft spoken. So
Mm.
that was one thing. Okay.
Mm.
And once I started teaching, then I found that children were also more or less as my parents raised me. In the same way, I
Mm.
found them. But
Mm.
now, after teaching 5 to 10 years, I
Mm.
found a great difference,
Mm.
because then back then children were quite hyper
Mm.
and more than curious.
Mm.
We were curious, but
Mm.
we never dared to ask anything to our teachers. That
Mm.
kind of thing was there in our mind. But
Mm.
yeah, these days children are very smart,
Mm.
smarter than us, and
Mm.
they don't feel hesitant to ask any sort of questions. And
Mm.
that is the best part of learning, I feel. This phase is very good. If you are open
Mm.
to your teachers, then you can
Mm.
ask thousands of questions. You don't feel hesitant that if I ask, teacher might land up scolding me. We
Hmm.
had this kind of fear in our head. Okay?
Absolutely.
The biggest problem, this difference, I can say it's not a problem I
Hmm.
found in my teaching career.
Hmm.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes,
It seems like you enjoyed it thoroughly.
yes, I did because the kind of respect I received in the starting, and
Hmm.
even till my retirement, because I would like love to mention that for 10 years before retirement, I worked as a coordinator in my school too.
Oh,
So that
amazing.
was the time when I really enjoyed thoroughly.
Hmm. That's amazing. Amazing.
Okay. And tell me, how long have you been in this field?
Oh, I have been in this field for just about 3 years. So, not as long as you, but I think I've seen some good days and some bad days. And it's been amazing, actually. Um, just the fact that it's quite different from what you've done, but just the fact that I get to interact with the adults who have a lot of experiences to share, that's amazing. I've learned about a lot of things through interacting with different people, and then I've also gotten to interact with some kids, and that's again amazing part of this entire job. And I see the difference between the kids from when I was a kid to now then they're kids, and they're so curious about everything. And I was a very shy kid, so I never talked to people. And I remember when I was 3 or 4, I would just hide behind my mother, not even greet people because I was that shy. But I see
Oh,
now kids sitting in front of the camera,
right,
asking questions like, "Oh, how's your hostel life? What do you do?" And I
right.
feel, wow, if I had that kind of confidence, I don't know, I might not be here. I would have done something much, much, much better. I would have been doing, I think, something. So I actually wanted to pursue some careers, but then I thought they require a lot of creativity, and they require you to be an
Mhm.
extrovert. And then I thought that, okay, I'm not an extrovert, so just let me settle down with something that would not require for me to interact with people a lot. But if I had that kind of clarity and the kind of confidence that these kids had, I think I would have done those things.
Undoubtedly, undoubtedly. But you look quite confident, by the way. And
Yeah,
3 years of,
the platform has helped me do that. So it's not just a learning for the learners, it's a learning journey for me as well.
oh, a teacher is always a student. So throughout
Absolutely.
the life, we have to keep learning something or the other.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I have a couple of questions for you,
Sure. Please go
because
ahead.
you are teaching on such
Hmm.
a dignified uh,
Hmm.
uh, platform. Okay,
Hmm.
because for me, these names came in my mind once I started my
Hmm.
YouTube journey. I never knew this Ace Fluency,
Hmm.
English Diary, or any such kind of platforms where people can learn spoken English, or
Hmm.
they can improve their English skills in
Hmm.
whatever way they want. Okay,
Hmm.
because my way was teaching method was quite traditional. Okay,
Hmm.
no
Hmm.
mobile, no
Hmm.
laptop, no internet.
Hmm.
For you people, you have many
Hmm.
things accessible, and you
Hmm.
have been teaching for 3 years, as you
Hmm.
mentioned. So you might have come across many brilliant students as
Hmm.
well as many average students too,
Hmm. Hmm.
isn't it? Because
Absolutely.
all kind of are there. And
Yeah.
when it comes to English,
Hmm.
it always intimidates the learners.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
So I just have a few questions, and I
Sure.
want to ask you so that it helps the learners, those who are going to watch our
Of course.
conversation video.
Of
Are
course.
you
Go
able
ahead. Yeah, of course.
to- Okay. So my very first question is, in your experience at Ace Fluency for 3 years,
Hmm.
what is the most common hidden problem learners come with?
Hmm.
Something they themselves don't actually realize initially that it was a problem for them.
Hmm. Okay. I think when they try to they come here with an expectation that we'll something give, will somehow give them something that will increase their confidence,
Mhm.
just like that. So
Right.
I think the problem is that they want to work on vocabulary first, they want to work on grammar first, and then they focus on that. Okay, then we'll speak. But the problem is they do not realize that they already have that basic vocabulary and they can start speaking, and then we can work on the areas that need to be worked on slowly and steadily along the process. Um,
Mhm.
it's just a sheer lack of confidence that I have seen has stopped people um, for the longest time. And again, it's the lack of confidence that has, made them suffer at their workplaces or different areas of their lives as well. So that's the biggest problem I have seen in the learners, that they don't even realize themselves. We have
Mm.
to sometimes get them out of the shell to speak, because they're so uh, terrified that we're going to make a mistake, and then they take so much of time to make sure that whatever they're saying is correct. And we tell them that, it's all right, because you are here to learn, and we will be able to help you once you make mistakes. So that's all right, it's a safe space to make mistakes. But to get them out of the shell is a little difficult process that takes some time, like 5 to 6 sessions at least. And I think once they come out of their shell and they start experimenting, then there's no looking back for them.
So true. And not only that, even I feel that they always want that first they should have some kind of some level of perfection, and then they
Absolutely.
should start their journey. So
Hmm.
like perfection comes with practice. And if you
Absolutely.
if you don't jump into that
Hmm.
process, if you don't take up the first step, then how can you become perfect in any genre? Okay.
Absolutely.
So
I totally agree.
yeah, so that is also somewhere important. And sometimes what they do, they always feel like translating method. They
Oh my
translate
God. Yeah.
translate from their own native language to English. So I
Hmm.
have come across some students like they
Hmm.
always keep on translating.
Hmm. Hmm.
हिंदी we call it, no, आज मैं तरह तरह के लोगों से
Yeah.
मिला. I met different people today. So
I never knew that they do this thing, and then somebody, I don't remember the exact sentence, but somebody said something like this that sounded so awkward, and then I realized that they're literally translating from Hindi word to word, and then I told them, you don't have to do this. You can never become fluent if you do this. So
right,
they make
right.
different kinds of mistakes. Sometimes even we get astonished by the kind of mistakes they make, but then that just makes you realize that they're people who are trying very hard, and that's all right.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. That's true. So people should start their first step without thinking whether they are speaking all
Absolutely.
right without any mistakes, or their English language is just full of mistakes, because every day they will learn something. Each step will guide them to overcome their one problem at least, isn't it? So that's how
Absolutely.
we grow, because learning a new language is always a tough nut to crack for anybody. For any
Absolutely. I always tell them. And I think English is a little tough also because we know a little bit about it, but then there are a lot of things that we do not know. And then you're used to speaking a certain way that might be wrong. So I believe unlearning is something that takes more time rather than learning a new thing. So you need to be consistent in order to make sure that you unlearn the incorrect things first so that you can then learn the correct ones.
right, right. So true. So well explained. Okay, that's the
Thank
reason I
you.
have prepared some questions for you.
Yeah, please.
Coming to the next question. Yeah. Like people always feel that uh, I can't speak English. English is something which is really difficult, and I should not even try. And
Hmm.
once they start,
Hmm.
whenever with some motivation,
Hmm.
some boost from somewhere, or under compulsion, sometimes they start
Hmm.
their journey, and then they feel I should just give up. I can't do it. It's not a cup of tea for me.
Hmm.
But still they sometimes again they feel no, everybody is speaking. One
Hmm.
those who are not able to speak, they also
Hmm.
have started with certain practice, so I should again start. So
Hmm.
have you ever noticed any of your learners that they were not able to speak initially, but all of a sudden they
Hmm.
started speaking quite confidently?
Hmm.
So
I won't
and
say
what
that
was
it
the
happened.
reason?
Hmm.
Yes, please continue.
I'm so sorry. I just lost you in between, so I thought your question was done.
No,
So,
no, it's okay. It's done. Yes.
okay. Okay. I wouldn't say that it happened all of a sudden. I think it happens slowly and gradually, but it does happen for sure. When I think somebody comes here, they are quite, I've seen a lot of people who ask the question that, do you think I will be able to do that? But then with constant practice and the guidance by tutors on the platform, I think they're able to do that. Now, one thing that I find is very good about platform like Ace Fluency is the fact that there are tutors who are experts in that, and they can give you a direction. Without a proper direction by tutors, it's just like you're traveling in a dark room. You don't know where you're going. You might reach the correct destination, but
Mm.
that's just by luck. Or you might get lost in between. And when you get lost, that's where you lose all the motivation and you stop even trying. So when a tutor tells you, because a lot of people do not even want to work on grammar or don't want to understand anything. And we understand that. So we give them a direction that would not require them to work on it until and unless it's absolutely necessary. So that direction by tutors is very important. And when somebody actually follows that, they do the work, and they are consistent. I've seen people like improving a lot. Sometimes when I meet them after a long period of time, I just get surprised and I ask them, "What have you been doing? Just tell me, and please keep doing that because it's certainly working very well for you."
So true.
Yeah.
So true. And what I have noticed
Mhm.
among my students, when I choose some topic
Mhm.
where they are interested to
Mhm.
speak about, like some men, they
Mhm.
are very much interested about cricket, you know.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
when I start talking about cricket, because they have interest, they know the words,
Mhm.
vocabulary,
Mhm.
they have certain data.
Mhm.
So once I ask such questions related to cricket, so
Mhm.
immediately they start speaking more and more. Whereas other
Absolutely.
questions, I need to push them, speak
Mhm.
more. I need to
Mhm.
give them words into their mouth that now you
Mhm.
can use this word for particular
Mhm.
sentence.
Mhm.
When they are interested into something, they speak
Mhm.
more and more, and they speak a little confidently too. This,
Hmm. I
isn't it?
agree. This is something that even people have told me that, for this topic, we do not know anything, so we cannot speak. And I tell them that, a lot of times when you are in the natural settings, people won't tell you in advance that we're going to talk about this. So even there can be two things. One is that you do not know anything about it. Let's say something has happened recently, you've not heard about it. That's all right. But just because you're saying I don't have an interest in it, you should, even if you want to navigate a conversation to different topic, you should have the required vocabulary to navigate it to different topic, or you should at least know how to respond to it. You cannot just stand there silent. So we tell the learners here how to do that as well. We tell them how to um, maybe navigate the conversation differently, or even if you do not know how to respond, how can you just act as if you were at least understanding something, or you can just try and understand and answer something out of what other person is saying, because in the real world you have to navigate through such situations.
So true. So true. This is really very well explained. Many
Thank
learners
you.
usually say, Smriti, that I don't have money to spend, because
Mhm.
money is something. Some free platforms are there. Even Ace Fluency has provided this free facility also. Yes,
Mhm. Mhm.
audio call. I think so.
Yes.
Am I
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not sure, but yeah, there is audio call that sound. I think it's.
Somewhere about some maybe 20 to 30 minutes. I
Mhm.
think it's a
Yes,
free
yes, yes.
session for learners
Mhm.
to learn. So it's a great opportunity for learners to do that.
Absolutely. Mhm.
But once learners connect on a video call, they see
Mhm.
the body language, yes,
Mhm.
and then they get the feedback then and there by tutors like
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
There might be many
Mhm.
much more experienced teachers on
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
platform. And
Mhm.
once they land up talking to you during the conversation, that ma'am, I want a free session, free conversation. How do you really balance the structure with spontaneity in your sessions?
Mhm.
How do you?
Okay.
Hmm.
So, with free conversations, I specifically believe that it should be there because, again, in the real world, you won't get very structured conversations all
Hmm.
the time. But I think there is a time for everything. And as experts, we should know when that time is. For somebody who's very nervous, for somebody who um, finds it difficult to find the correct words, you
Right.
cannot just give them that space to speak freely, because then their mind would be all over the place and they wouldn't know what to speak, and then they would end up becoming more confused and they would start doubting themselves that, oh, we couldn't speak anything here as well. So I think for somebody who is just a beginner, it's very important to hold their hand and at least to drop them somewhere from where they can gather their thoughts and they can structure them properly and then speak. So I think sometimes a lot of freedom, you cannot just leave a baby freely on the road, because that kind of freedom for a baby can be quite dangerous. I think that's the same case for the students as well. You need to understand when it is the correct time to let them loose.
Mm. Right, right. And one more thing, when we pay for something, we
Mm.
value it more.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And also then, there are tutors on the platform, and as much as we don't like to believe, I mean, we also hate when our college charges fees from us, but in all honesty, they also need it to run the operation. So when you pay for something, you're more serious about it. I think you take the feedback more seriously, you're more consistent about it. And then the people that are out here, the ones that you can see, the ones who are working on the back end that you cannot see, they also need some sort of commissions and some sort of money to appear and give their time and
Right,
share their knowledge. So I think
right,
it's
right.
just justified. Or
Yes.
yeah,
Nothing comes without a price, isn't it?
absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Let me land up with the last question. Yeah.
Sure.
What one thing you would suggest the learners
Mm,
that they should just stop making that mistake from the very first day?
mm.
Hmm?
Okay. I think stop chasing perfection. I have
Mm.
seen people saying that, oh, we know something, but the answers are not that good. And I tell them, but you have to learn to at least speak. Make sure that you're speaking something, you're not staying silent. We can chase that perfection along the way, but at least there should be a strong foundation before getting that perfection. You know, as a human being, so I've come from a very small town of Himachal and I've struggled with my own English for a very long period of time. And I worked on that. So I understand all of that. I understand where
Right,
they're coming from and what they want. But
right,
then I've learned from my mistakes, and I have, just gone through this journey on my own, because at that point of time, such platforms were unfortunately not available. So now I've made all those mistakes and I realize that this is mistakes that they're making, where they're coming from. So I always tell them that perfection um, is a myth altogether. You can be either Shashi Tharoor, or you can be just normal people who are speaking English. So just go for a good foundation. At least make sure that you're able to speak whatever is in your mind, in your heart, and then over time you can achieve perfection. That's something you can do on your own as well. But making that foundation is actually more tough than chasing perfection.
so true, so true. This is the reason that people stick to the Ace Fluency and they want to learn from this platform. So
Mm,
well explained, your insights will certainly help the learners. It's really very true, whatever you said, that people should not think for the perfection. If they would think for the perfection, or sometimes, like, no,
mm,
we have seen the thumbnails also, master English in 1 month
mm.
or 2 months.
Yeah,
We can't master any language throughout
absolutely.
our life. This is what
Mm,
I feel, because
mm,
every day I learn something or the other. I
mm,
learn from small kids, even
mm,
they
mm.
use wonderful vocabs,
Absolutely.
idioms, phrases. So
Absolutely.
although I don't use, but I
Mm,
also get fascinated towards that
mm.
advanced vocabulary. Okay, so
Absolutely.
it's nothing like that mastering a
Mm,
language. Yes.
mm,
I also tell my students that this is, we are Hindi speakers, Hindi is our
mm.
native language. We are not perfect in even Hindi too.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true. I believe nowadays we are better in English rather than Hindi. So,
That is what one day I was struggling with, the Hindi of investment. I
uh,
was just thinking, what is the Hindi of investment, and I was unable to find out the
mm,
meaning of this.
absolutely. I
I couldn't
understand.
find that meaning. Okay, so it happens that we are becoming better
Mm,
in this language rather than in Hindi,
mm.
and this language will also take lots of time, I feel so.
Absolutely. That's
Yes,
true.
yes,
That's absolutely true. I couldn't agree
it's
more.
not like in a year or two we can master this language. Certainly,
Mm,
we would start speaking better. We would become a better version of ourselves. That
Mm.
can happen, but miracle cannot take place that you will grab whole dictionary and every word would be there
Yeah,
in
even
your mind.
I tell people that, I think perfection again is a myth, and there's always something that you can learn, because every year there are some words that are added to the dictionary as well. So you can not ever cram the entire dictionary, because it is also ever evolving. So there's always something to learn. So vocabulary, idioms, it should be something that you should always look out for, and you should always try and inculcate more and more in your own language, but make sure that the basics are clear first, because that's again something that can go on. But once basics are clear, you can do all of that on your own. It's
Yes,
just the basics that you need our help.
yes. Okay, I didn't even ask you if you have any questions, and please try track the time also
Yes,
because
yes.
yes,
So we
yes.
don't have a lot of time, but definitely, I would like to ask you, why did you decide to start this YouTube channel and work again? Because for most of people, I mean, I am a young person. Somebody tells me that retire today, I will retire definitely, and I'll comfortably sit on my bed and just try and spend my life reading something. So, how do you have so much of energy?
Oh, this question has been asked by many, and many times I have
Mm,
answered this question. I would love to answer your question also. See, once you start a journey, like you have taught for 3 years, maybe your journey towards your profession started 5 years back.
mm,
But once you would work for 30 years or a long span of time,
mm,
then you would not love to sit idle. This is
mm,
what I felt. I too felt that I would enjoy after retirement, but I enjoyed for a couple of days,
mm, mm,
or you can say couple of weeks. Later,
mm,
I started feeling that something is missing in my life. I'm
mm,
missing my enthusiasm. I'm missing my students. I'm missing the concepts of grammar which I had and children were enjoying in the classroom situation. Why don't I do something? And as my children are not here in India, they are working and they are abroad. So
mm.
I thought I must make myself engaged somewhere.
Hmm.
And that's
Amazing.
how I started my YouTube channel. And I'm enjoying actually because
Hmm.
of YouTube channel, you could find me or Ace Fluency could find me and we are talking today,
Absolutely.
isn't it?
Hmm.
So that was,
Absolutely. That's amazing. That's great to know. And, I think that once you keep on doing something and you have a routine, that's how you stay active as well. Otherwise, you just become inactive, and that's how you fall sick as well. So I'm so happy that you're doing that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I also started feeling
Hmm.
sluggish,
Hmm.
nothing to do because two people just cook something and then eat and sleep and watch TV. What else? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is
I
something
totally agree.
productive I'm doing and I'm enjoying this.
Amazing. I'm glad that you could enjoy that and you're doing all of this. And I'm sure that a lot of people are benefiting from your channel and the wisdom that you have. However, I'll have to take your leave right now, but I'd
Thank you.
love
Thank
to meet you sometime again.
Yes,
Let's have
yes,
a
sure,
meeting.
sure. It was a wonderful insights from your side. You answered all my questions so well, and learners are certainly going to benefited by this. Thank you so
I
much.
hope so. Thank you so much for joining as well. Have a
Okay,
very good evening. Bye bye.
bye.
Bye bye.